Everybody, this is Guild Wars Reborn. Today I have a dual account Guild Wars farming style. I'm going to be doing 5 different areas in this video and show you pretty much everything needed and how I'm doing it, and use this as an example template for if you decide you want to try this with a friend, or if you have 2 accounts or somebody as a guildie that you want to go with. Showing you all the gear, runes, armor right now, as well as the build. I put everything in the description as far as details, farm locations. Also, if you want to know how to run 2 Guild Wars accounts or more at once, I'll be sure to put that video link in the description as well. So I'm using an Indie/Assassin for my first profession on the left, which is a Mesmer for this case, and then my dervsih VoS build for the right. So I put the actual video for how to do VoS guide as well in the description. I've done a previous video. And be sure to hit the like button if you like this kind of content. This is definitely a harder video to do because dual screen farming is very challenging. And of course, I choose tanking and VoS spiking. So yes, we're going to be getting started. Going to be doing 5 different areas. Thank y'all for watching my Guild Wars video content. Got a lot to come and some more Guild Wars giveaways to come as well. So big thing about key takeaway with dual tank farming is where you're going to have a tank and then a VoS spike is you have to be really fast paced with shadow form management, tanking, balling up the group, and then tank spike on that tank with the VoS. So you also could use a dual ritualist team. So if you have you and another friend, or 2 accounts with 2 ritualists, or you also can do 2 assassin tanks and just go in there and double up and spike it. Or you can have 2 trappers as another style. I've seen a lot of different other ones, but you could just YouTube search duo farms if you want to see more. Anyway, so I brought my heroes with me. We're doing Fissure of Woe first. Very challenging to do. Of course, I used a cupcake because it's easier to break the aggro and run both of my parties to the area. Going to be farming obsidian shards. Pretty much these driftwoods are getting to. I use heroes to kind of distract the enemies for some of the farms, just because as long as they're not in range, they really don't do anything besides maybe boost the drop rate or just kind of distract the enemies and speed boost you to the areas. So first one's the most challenging of the 5 farm locations. Get my tank to the area to ball up these driftwoods, and then my VoS will spike. So like I mentioned earlier, you can also use 2 ritualists here. I've seen a lot of people do that. You even could do a 600 tank with a Rit Monk and then a secondary Smiter as another option for a dual tanking. So I've done a lot of these videos in the past as well. If you just go to my channel and search for tanking, 600 tank, VoS, anything you want, and I should have a video on it. So Snarling Driftwood, I just ball them up using the Shadow Form build. Templates in the description if you didn't hear that earlier. And VoS spiking them down right now. So pretty self-explanatory. If you don't know how these builds work, I do have guides on those. I put everything in the description, so you can kind of use those as reference points. This is just a highlight focus, really experienced style thing. I don't normally do this kind of farm, but since I had so many requests on duo farms or to dual screen farms, so I figured I'd share this. So the hardest part about duo screen farming that I've learned so far is you kind of have to learn your aggro bubble range on the spiker while you do your tanking, and then also stay in pace range of that tank while you're doing that single account on the left side versus the right. And of course, it also depends on your skill level of what you prefer. And I don't ever recommend doing something more than 3 to 5 minute farms, just because it gets too tedious and time consuming. And you could accidentally fail if you extend it to a 10+ minute farm. So all these farms that I'm showing you ideas of are under 2 to 3 minutes each, except this one with 2 tank, using a tank and VoS. This one's probably about a 3 to 5 minute farm. Usually 2 to 3 obsidian shards. And the other good thing about running with dual tank accounts with a tank and a spiker, or whatever other profession style you prefer to use, is you have better drop rate because you have 2 accounts splitting the drops instead of just one. So you may get better drops and more drops because of that. So you see the style of this example, balling up these snarling driftwoods, and then once I get them all balled up, I'll death charge in and spike with my VoS, and then just use wastrels on my Mesmer secondary. And depending on what other assassin bar you use and what other profession, you can alter it to what your liking is. So we're going to go ahead to the next one. Reed Stalkers. These are right outside of Temple of Ages as well. So this one's very easy. It takes about a minute, minute and a half. Plant fibers is a big popular drop in this area. And keep in mind, these is just as an example of an area to farm. It's not the most optimal areas, and of course not the most optimal dual account farming example, but this is something that I think would be a good way to share. So I'm pretty much just going to ball everything up, maintaining shadow form, and then get the derv to death charge in. So that's two of the examples. I'm going to show you the drop rate as well, and I'll show you three other, but I'm going to leave it at that. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, let me know in the description. Make sure you check that out first and watch my other videos I put in the description and playlist if you want to see more about different things. Running two accounts at once, farming playlist, how to VOS farm, tanking farm, and a couple others. Subscribe if you haven't for more Guild Wars content, and I'll play some music now while you see the other examples that I show you. I hope you enjoyed the video so far, and enjoy the rest of the farm with some more examples.